We've all been there, right? You get a brand new laptop, and it's fast, it's silent, it's just perfect. But then, a year or two down the line, it's slow, it sounds like it's about to take off, and it's just plain frustrating. Well, we're going to fix that. In this explainer, we're diving into a complete guide to basically double your laptop's life, and maybe even bring it back from the dead when you think all hope is lost.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if your laptop could feel like it did on day one, but for years? It's this universal frustration, isn't it? The slow creep of lag, the fan that goes into overdrive, the heat. It just feels like an inevitable part of owning a laptop. But I'm telling you, so much of that is preventable. Okay, let's get into it.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've split this guide into two main parts. First, we've got the prevention plan. This is all about building simple, easy habits that will dramatically extend the life of your machine. And then we'll get to the emergency fix, your go-to guide for that heart-stopping moment when your laptop just won't turn on. All right, let's kick things off with prevention. You know the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and with expensive tech, that's never been more true. These are the simple, proactive things you can do to keep your laptop running like a dream. Now, this right here is probably the #1 most ignored aspect of laptop care. Just a basic physical cleaning. See, dust isn't just an eyesore. It's literally lethal to your laptop. It gets sucked inside, clogs up the fans, and basically wraps your hot components in a warm, fuzzy blanket. That trapped heat makes your fans work overtime, which causes all that noise, and eventually your performance just tanks.
But here's the good news. The fix is super cheap and easy. All you really need is a multi-tool brush to get in the vents and keys, a good microfiber cloth for the screen and body, and maybe some of that cleaning gel to pick up all the gunk in your keyboard. Do this for a few minutes once every couple of weeks, and you'll make a massive difference.
And this gets to the heart of why cleaning is so important. Heat is the silent killer of your laptop's speed. When your processor gets too hot, it has a built-in defense mechanism called throttling, which is a fancy way of saying it slams on the brakes to cool down. That is what causes those sudden, infuriating lags and stutters right when you're in the middle of something important.
So it really comes down to this. How you use your laptop makes a huge difference. Putting it on a soft surface like your bed or a couch cushion, that's like trying to make it breathe with a pillow over its face. You're blocking the air vents and heat builds up almost instantly. The easiest fix in the world, just use it on a hard, flat surface. That's it.
Okay, next up, the battery. To keep it healthy, you gotta understand what a charge cycle is. Think of it like the mileage on a car. Every time you use up 100% of your battery's juice, it doesn't matter if you do it all at once or in little bits over a few days, that counts as one cycle. And every battery only has so many of these cycles before it starts to wear out.
So here it is, the golden rule you need to remember. If you're doing something really intense, like gaming or video editing or a big video call, plug it in. When you do that, the adapter is smart enough to power the laptop components directly, bypassing the battery. You're basically saving those precious cycles. For lighter stuff, like just browsing the web, go ahead and let the battery do its thing.
Okay, ready for a few rapid-fire software tips? First, go into your settings and stop all those unnecessary apps from launching the second you turn your computer on. Second, every now and then, clear out your temporary files and actually empty the recycle bin. Third, and this is a big one, think of your storage drive like your stomach. It works way better when it's not totally stuffed. Try to keep at least 15% of it free. And finally, if you really want a game-changing speed boost, switching from an old-school hard drive to a modern SSD is the single best upgrade you can make.
So you've done everything right, you've kept it clean, you've kept it cool, you've managed the battery like a pro, and then one day you hit the power button and you get nothing, just silence. That feeling of pure panic sets in. Don't worry, we've got a plan for that too. Welcome to the Emergency Fix. We're going to walk through a calm, step-by-step process that can very often bring a supposedly dead laptop right back to life and save you a very expensive trip to the repair shop.
We're going to follow 5 simple steps here, starting with the easiest stuff first. So take a deep breath. Let's start the revival process.
First things first, let's check the power itself. You know those cheap, flimsy extension cords? They're a super common cause of power problems. So before you panic, unplug your charger from that strip and plug it directly into a wall socket you know works. I know it sounds almost too simple, but you'd be amazed how often this is the entire problem.
Okay, if that didn't do it, we move on to what is probably the single most effective trick in the book, a static power drain. Sometimes, a bit of extra electricity gets trapped on the motherboard and stops it from starting up. This process clears it out. Follow these steps exactly. Unplug everything, hold that power button down for a full 30 seconds, no cheating, then connect only the charger and try to turn it on.
All right, if it's still playing dead, our next couple of steps involve actually opening up the laptop. Now, don't freak out. This is more doable than you think. The trick is just to be gentle, work slowly, and maybe grab a little dish to keep all your screws from running away. Once we're inside, we're looking for two common troublemakers. First, the CMOS battery. It's that little silver coin battery that keeps track of things like the time. Sometimes just unplugging it for a minute and plugging it back in can fix a weird glitch. Second is the RAM, your laptop's short-term memory. Over time, these sticks can get ever so slightly loose. All you have to do is carefully unclip them, pull them out, and then snap them firmly back in. A loose RAM stick is a classic reason a laptop won't boot at all.
So, we've gone through the long-term care plan and the emergency revival steps. Let's just pull it all together for the big takeaway.
Here's the core lesson. That little bit of consistent, simple maintenance, keeping it clean, keeping it cool, is your absolute best defense for a long and happy laptop life. But if the worst happens, just remember this. A laptop that won't turn on is very often not a broken laptop. It's just a laptop that needs a specific kind of reset. And knowing these emergency steps can save you a ton of time, a lot of money, and even more stress.
At the end of the day, your laptop is a huge investment. It's one of the most essential tools we have connecting us to our work, our friends, our entire world, really. So the final question is pretty simple. Are you treating that investment with the care it actually deserves?